You've probably heard the phrase, follow the money. But in the quiet suburb of Brighton Falls, no one expected the money to lead to a school principal. This is the story of a $2 million embezzlement scandal, a forged identity, and the moment one woman risked everything to bring the truth to light. Meet Diane Mercer. She wasn't a detective or a journalist or even a lawyer. She was a part-time school secretary at Eastview Elementary. Mid-50s, glasses, a quiet, observant woman who most people passed by without a second thought. But Diane noticed everything. For years, she handled the basics, filing paperwork, ordering supplies, sorting mail, entering lunch records. A humble job, but one she took seriously. But in early 2022, Diane started spotting anomalies. Invoices, expensive ones, for equipment the school had supposedly received. Laptops, tablets, smartboards, playground sets, except nothing had changed. The computers were still from 2010. The playground was falling apart, and yet over $400,000 in equipment upgrades had been billed and approved that semester alone. Diane brought it up to Principal Jonathan Wells. He smiled, said it was all part of a delayed federal grant, told her not to worry. But Diane did worry. She checked the invoice signatures, the digital approvals. They looked off, not fake, just identical every time. Same size, same placement, same font density. It was as if someone had copied and pasted the exact same signature block. Diane's gut told her something was wrong, so she started digging. At home, late at night, Diane began pulling records. Most people don't know this, but school budgets are public information. She accessed district spending reports, financial audits, and vendor contracts. And that's when she found it. A name that came up on nearly every tech-related invoice in the last 3 years. ClearPath Innovations. The company had supposedly provided hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of electronics, infrastructure, even consulting services. But the address listed was a P.O. box 2 towns over. There was no website, no phone number, no public business registration. Diane couldn't find a single employee tied to the name. It was a shell company, a fake, one that had been paid over $2 million from district funds without anyone noticing, except her. Every invoice had been approved by Jonathan Wells, her boss, a man who drove a modest sedan, wore cheap suits, and lived in a small 2-bedroom house. Except that wasn't entirely true. Diane remembered something strange from a holiday staff party a year prior. Jonathan had accidentally left his phone unlocked on the table. The background wallpaper? A luxury yacht. He joked about dreaming big, but now Diane wasn't so sure. She compiled everything: screenshots, printed invoices, duplicate signatures, and contacted the state auditor's office. Not the school board, not the police, the auditors. They launched a quiet investigation. No confrontation, no warnings. They traced the money, reviewed district emails, checked bank records, and the scheme began to unravel. Jonathan Wells had created ClearPath Innovations under a fake identity. Using his deceased brother-in-law's social security number, he registered the company and set up a business account. Then he began submitting fake invoices, just under the district's $50,000 threshold for mandatory board review. He even paid small amounts of tax on the fake business to avoid suspicion. Over 3 years, he laundered just over $2.2 million, and he didn't do it alone. During the investigation, emails surfaced linking Jonathan to a former district financial officer, Karen Bishop. She'd retired abruptly in 2019, but her name kept showing up. Turns out she was still on payroll as a consultant, being paid monthly by ClearPath. She had helped design the scam. She knew how to bypass the district's internal checks. She advised Jonathan on timing, amounts, and how to stagger payments to avoid raising flags. Together, they'd built the perfect crime. Invisible, quiet, profitable, until Diane noticed. On a crisp Tuesday morning, as students filed in for class, Jonathan Wells was arrested in his office. Police walked him out in handcuffs. The staff stared. The children asked questions. And Diane, she sat at her desk, quiet, watching. Jonathan was charged with wire fraud, embezzlement, identity theft, tax evasion, obstruction of justice. Karen Bishop was arrested 3 days later at her vacation home in Florida. The trial was covered by every local news outlet, not because of the amount stolen, but because it happened in an elementary school, a place meant to nurture children, not rob them. Prosecutors presented thousands of pages of evidence, digital trails, bank statements, shell company registrations, fake addresses, even photos of luxury items Jonathan had purchased with school funds, designer watches, electronics, travel tickets, and yes, the yacht from his phone's background image. It was real. Moored in Miami under the name Class Act. Jonathan pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to 22 years in federal prison. Karen received 15. The court ordered restitution. Over $1.2 million was recovered through asset seizures, including Jonathan's house, car, and luxury items. The rest, gone. But the story didn't end there. The district used the recovered funds to upgrade every classroom in Eastview Elementary. New computers, updated textbooks, a refurbished playground. And Diane, she was offered a full-time administrative role. Declined it. She said she liked working part-time. She didn't do it for a promotion. Didn't do it for the $50,000 whistleblower reward either, which she donated to the school's music program. She did it because something didn't feel right, because she trusted her instincts, because even quiet people can shine a light on dark places.